Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your host, the experience that some call Jason, and with me is...
Joining you from the gazebo of solitude, the Todd Father.
And...
The token... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The token fan of failures, Tarky.
CDO113, the droid you're looking for.
And today we're going to be talking to you about our favorite DC characters. Last week we showed Marvel some love, so this week it's DC's turn. We are, in our love for comics, polyamorous. So who wants to kick it off today?
I kicked it off last time. Let somebody kick it off.
I guess I'll kick it off.
Alright, we will start up with old Danny Son then.
Alright, I'm going to pick Green Arrow.
Of course you are. I'm sorry, that came out. That was out. I'm sorry, that was out loud. Go ahead, Danny. Tell us why Green Arrow is cool before I jump on him.
Green Arrow, for me, I like the fact that he's like a dualistic kind of character. He was born rich, but he prefers to be like the everyman. He's a Robin Hood do-gooder. And he started out pretty much a Boy Scout with a code, and it wasn't until the Longbow Hunters that he went kind of bloodthirsty. And I'm talking the comic books, not the TV show, which I also liked, and I know I get a lot of grief for. And he basically wants to pay back to the community and to the regular person because he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth that he doesn't feel suits him anymore.
You realize he could do that with programs and his money?
Yeah, but then he couldn't run around town firing arrows into bad guys.
Well, he could because he's rich. Which is what they let him do in the first place.
Oh, well, he's gotten several fortunes when different family members have died, and he always gives the money away to some charity or some charity group that does like soup kitchens or women's shelters and stuff like that. And he's only kept like a little chunk for himself to be able to do a superhero. So he does do that in the books because he's went through, I know, 2 or 3 fortunes doing that. Every time a great aunt or great uncle or whatever dies, when he inherits, he gives 90% of it away.
So he's not even good at being a rich guy.
Well, he knows if he has that much money, he's just going to drink and party it away. So to get rid of the temptation, he tends to give it away to charities and stuff.
Well, where to start? I don't dislike Green Arrow as much as I dislike Punisher. I can go that far. Because at least, he has his grim, dark phases he goes through, but generally speaking, he is at least heroic. I don't mind the Robin Hood aspect. Because, it's tapping into a classic character or whatever, but, I don't know. He's another one like the Punisher that I have a hard time seeing him dealing with super people. Which, should be a thing with Batman too, but it bothers me less with Batman. But he's another one that as long as they keep him at a street level, yeah, he works fine. I like to make fun of him because of things like the boxing glove arrow, but...
I always enjoy seeing Green Arrow in very specific moments, like in Dark Knight, or in the comic form of Batman v Superman that they always go to. It was just, he had one shining moment where it's, hey, shoot one arrow really good for me. And he goes, can do.
Yeah.
Or Injustice, where, he fires at Superman and Superman thinks he's firing him, so he swats it. And then, Green Arrow goes, oh, he swats it like that when he doesn't care. And he aims another arrow, fires it. Superman swats it again, and then realizes after he swatted it, it had something on it that was a little different. And he looks as it goes through a crack in the ice in the Fortress of Solitude to go outside to Batman and Batman's crew. So he successfully stole from Superman by calculating the swat off of Superman's, I don't care, it's an arrow, and swats it.
Kind of the underestimation thing.
Right.
Well, see,
It's that moment where he goes, I know I'm being underestimated. And now I have to calculate an arrow shot to get it out to the crew.
that's one of the
Because Superman's going to kill me.
That's one of the things that hooked me as a kid to liking Green Arrow, because I can't remember if it was the Golden Age or the Silver Age book that I had. That they're basically at the in the Justice League headquarters. Well, they didn't call themselves Justice Leagues, I don't think. But one of them was basically like, "What makes you so special to be here?" And he goes, "Because I can shoot anything. Doesn't matter." And Flash is giving him crap about, "I could go across the room and you couldn't hit me." And he goes to run, and Green Arrow is drawing an arrow. And when Flash gets across the room, "See, you didn't even touch me." And he points and down, and there's a chunk of his boot stuck to the ground with an arrow. And he goes, "All I got to do is know where you're going, and I can hit you."
Except you're talking about somebody that could cross the room before you could think that he was crossing the room.
Yeah.
That they'll let him do stuff like that makes no sense.
Well, that's the DC way.
Now,
DC does that.
The way he did it in the actual Flash show, that worked.
Yeah, he set up a trap.
Yeah, but that's kind of the prep time thing. That tends to be how Batman does it.
Except in the Justice League movie, where he catches Flash as he's falling. Still bothered.
Well, Flash really, really sucked in that movie, so.
He couldn't stop tripping. He ran like a toddler.
A really, really fast toddler. Ah! Oh man, I wish I could see my hands flailing. Ah! Thump. Yeah.
No, he never thumped because Batman always caught him. He tripped twice. Batman caught him both times. Because Batman.
Clearly. Now, I did like Green Arrow in the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
That was definitely the coolest version.
Made me boxing glove.
Yep, that was the coolest version of the boxing glove arrow they ever did. That was when I realized how awesome a cartoon that was, because I'm sitting there going, holy shit. They actually made the boxing glove arrow look cool. And he was voiced by a guy that used to play a character in one of my mom's soap operas that I liked, so I kind of went into it going, oh, it's that guy. And I'd read a TV Guide article where he was talking about showing up for the first day of recording in costume because he was so excited about it. He goes, yeah, they looked at me like I was crazy. Oh, look, he's in costume. Or him talking about him talking about hitting the gym because he didn't want to go to the comic conventions and have little kids looking at him like, oh, that's Green Arrow. In his younger days, he actually looked the part pretty well. I could have seen him playing the role in something, as he was back when I was a kid. But
I always wanted Carrie Elways.
Would not have been a bad choice. All right. Oh, let's jump over to Taylor. All right, Tarky,
Howdy.
who is your guy?
I'm going to continue.
Or gal, I don't want to be.
I'm going to continue to take someone who's technically not a failure. Good old Booster Gold. I just enjoy the character of, like, I'm kind of a hero for secondary reasons, but slowly moves towards, all right, I need to be a hero just because being a hero is what you should be doing when you have what I have. Because he enters in, does some heroics, gets a bunch of movie deals with corporate sponsors, and goes, hey, I'm just going to be a superhero to be famous. And then it crashes and burns, and his only success really comes when he goes, I need to be a hero to be a hero. I don't need complicated secondary objectives. I don't need to have the world's most illustrious backstory. I'm a guy from the future with super tech. Let's just be a superhero. And it works out for him better when he just does that.
It's just a shame that they've told that exact same arc with him 2 or 3 times now.
Right. And the only time I've been okay with that retelling is in the new 52 or 52 weeks. I forget which one. When he expects, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to show up and give a big speech, and it doesn't happen. Then he gets mad at this new hero, Supernova, I believe.
Yeah, that was the 52. That was the 52. Yeah. What you were calling 52 weeks, I think they just called it 52.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was that weekly book that covered the... What was it? You had one of the big events wrap up. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman were all basically gone for a year. Well, the comics all just jumped. The next month was a year later. And then you had that weekly miniseries that ran through the entire year that filled in what that previous year what had happened in that previous year. And yeah, that's where you had Supernova running around in Metropolis, basically filling in for Superman. And Lex Luthor was convinced that it was actually Superman.
Yeah, the funniest thing with that was with Supernova running on, Booster Gold doesn't know who this is. I'm from the future, and I don't know who this is. And it's making him so mad and frustrated and forcing him to do certain things. And then, spoiler alert. I'm going to give spoilers to this. I know it's been a while, but if you don't want to hear, I'm about to say an important part, and then probably just less than a minute of dialogue. But anyway, starting now. The fact that Supernova is Booster Gold the whole time, doing things specifically to make himself mad because he knows what he'll do when he's mad. He knows how to path himself is hilarious.
It was just him from a little bit further in the future.
Yeah, it's just... I enjoy just, Booster Gold's just look, I know what to do with myself. Let's just work with that. As he's working with, the only other time traveler guy that he really knows.
That was basically when him and Rip Hunter started working together.
Yeah, because Rip Hunter was blaming him for the entire thing.
My favorite Booster Gold is still Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, Justice League Unlimited Booster Gold is how I was introduced to him.
Well, I think he only had one episode that was dedicated.
Yeah.
Crowd Control. They were fighting one of the magical...
it was the big wizard guy that he's really a Legion of Superheroes villain, though he popped up in the Justice Society when they revamped them. Mordred. I can't remember.
Not Mordred. It's something with a U. Mordred. His name is weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had him on crowd control, and everybody kept confusing him with Green Lantern for some reason. Can I get your autograph?
Yeah, blue and yellow make green.
It's Green Lantern. I am not Green Lantern.
All right, Todd, who's your favorite DC character?
The Joker. The clown prince of crime. Hell with these heroes. I'm going for a flat-out villain.
Because, a hero who only runs around with guns and traps is stupid. But a villain that does it? Great.
Well, yeah, and that's the trick. Joker done. I liked the Batman comic as a kid, but I tended to pull for Joker. I had that real bad. So, that was kind of a thing.
I don't know, I like the Joker in context of Batman. Outside of Batman, it's not great.
I don't know. I like the Joker. I like Joker outside of the context just because when he pops up in Superman always underestimates him.
Yeah, and that underestimation is one of the things that just about gets Lois killed.
Yeah,
in
that's
one
what,
of the.
That's, Joker is that character that shows up in other people's books and shows you that Gotham ain't nothing to fuck with.
And that should work once for any particular hero.
It should.
And the fact that they'll do it over and over again is kind of like, eh.
Well, the trick is Batman has a hard time with Joker over and over.
Yeah, but Batman's also a street level human character, so that they work together. I'm Superman. I underestimate the Joker the first time he shows up. The next time, the second I see him, I've knocked him unconscious before he has time to register that I'm there.
Yeah, but your Superman all of a sudden is using his powers in concert, which he never does.
Well, that's fair.
He did that. If he did that, there'd be no crime in Metropolis ever.
Yeah.
He is literally Jesus floating around in a cape.
He doesn't use a whip.
Because he doesn't have to. And you don't know what the hell him and Lois do.
Fair.
Anyway.
Fair.
But yeah, I like him, especially when you get a writer that writes him as a force of nature.
Yeah. Did you ever read the storyline where Batman and the Spectre and somebody else get taken into the mind of somebody, and Batman's like, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah, it was the Justice League. It was the Hal Jordan Spectre.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it wasn't the Spectre that took him in there. It was Manhunter.
It was John. Yeah, it was John Jones. Took him to the center of Joker. Batman realized immediately where the hell they were. And was like, we got to get out of here. But when you find out at the core of Joker, there was a person that's sane. He had a peaceful center deep in the bowels of his mind.
Well, the Jordan Spectre had been mocking the fact that they had, they were all these bright, shiny heroes, but they had their demons, and he shows them to them.
Right.
So John was basically showing him that, the worst humanity has to offer, has a little kernel of something good in him.
I enjoyed that because when it pulls out to the Joker, he burps. It goes, that guy's tongue I ate must not have agreed with me.
Yeah. The one other Joker thing I like, it was in a special they did about the Joker, different storylines over the years. You got an interview with him from some humor magazine. It's no pictures. It's just like a written story, and he's got this guy to come in, and he has brownies or something for the guy, and the guy's kind of scared to take one. They got him in a straitjacket, chained down, but he had made brownies and had them sitting out with some milk, and the guard is like, they're okay, we watched him make them, I've had 2 of them. And the guy sits down and he starts interviewing the Joker, and he eats a brownie and drinks some milk while he's doing this, and then he starts choking and carrying on. And the guy's like, man, I don't ever do this unless, I've ate peanuts or been around peanuts. And the Joker's been giggling the whole time, and the guard goes, what? Oh, crap. And grabs the guy and drags him out of the cell. He had put ground up peanuts and put them in the mixed.
Well, lots of people put peanuts in the brownies, yeah.
Yeah,
that Joker knew about this guy.
Yeah, yeah. He knew about the allergy, but it was something the guards go, oh, well, hadn't done anything to it.
Yeah, that was a Secret Origin, if I remember.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the title of the book. It was like,
they did a couple of those. Joker managed to fuck up a couple of people in both of them. But yeah, that's my favorite. I like most iterations of him. I have not seen that movie just because I won't really count that as Joker. And he's one of those characters kind of like my Marvel pick. I don't want a whole hell of a lot of origin for him.
Mm-hmm.
When you start trying to explain why he's like he is, Killing Joke was enough. And the nice thing about Killing Joke is even when you read it, he's going, that might be my origin, it might not. I remember it differently every time I do.
Yeah.
If I'm going to have a history, it might as well be multiple choice.
All right. Go ahead.
3 Jokers thing that's coming up from DC, I'm kind of worried about it, though.
Yeah. I haven't come up with it close, but...
Where it's like they go suggest that there's 3 different ones. No. I don't like explanations with my Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like permanent changes like when they had him cut his face off. I don't like it.
Well, what they're basically doing is stealing something from the... you remember when DC did their Tangent line?
Yeah.
But they took the old familiar names, and it was a completely new universe with different designed characters.
Yeah.
Well, the Joker in that was a woman, and a vigilante, but that was the trick. There was 3 of them.
Yeah.
When they did that Mystery of the Batwoman animated series movie, I pegged what the twist of that movie was almost immediately based off the fact that I had read the Joker book, or the Joker Tangent book. And that truthfully strikes me as kind of what they're doing again. Is they're going back to that weird little offshoot book and stealing the plot idea.
Yeah. Like I said, that's just one I'm not excited about it. Mm-hmm. When they first suggested, who is it? Oh, it's 3 of them. Yeah. Because looking at the cover, it's like they're trying to suggest that the Joker that crippled Barbara Gordon and the one that beat Jason Todd damn near to death are 2 different people. And I'm like, no, because when you read a death in the family, that's why he's broke. He talks about crippling Gordon's daughter and why is Gordon taking it so personal. He's like, I sent her 10 of pencils. What else do you want from me? You had that neat little period right through there when Joker didn't show up a lot, but when he showed up, you felt it because he cost your hero something, which is rare in comics. To have a character kind of consistently, Gordon's got a wife. Well, Joker's out, not anymore. Oh, you got a Robin. Well, not anymore. To the point that when Gordon shoots him in the knee, after he's murdered his wife, and he's like, I may never walk again. Just like your daughter. I get it. And falls out laughing. That is some classic characterization.
Yeah, because, everybody else was freaked out and Joker's sitting there laughing. And, that
not Batman. Batman was going to kill him if you want to. Yeah. I ain't saying shit. Quick little tangent. In the Batwoman TV series, that's why Batman has been gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
He snapped and killed the Joker.
Well, that's at least a reasonable explanation for why he's gone.
Yeah, but they only gave you that so it can make Batwoman appear better.
Well, they need to do something. It's not like she's got viewership or anything.
No, it's down in the low 600,000s now. But anyway, who's your favorite?
Out of DC, I am going to go with the old Kyle Rayner Green Lantern from the 90s.
You and people that make light shapes.
Look, I like flying bricks, and I like guys with energy construct powers. I'm not going to lie, I've got a type. And then you give me Ion, who's a Daxamite, so he's got Kryptonian-type powers, and a power ring, and ooh. But anyway, so like when I was a kid, and I would hit comic shops that had like the 10-cent box or the quarter box. I would dig through and I'd pull out Green Lanterns a lot of times because I liked the power set. The core was neat enough, and my dad had the entire that original Green Lantern Corps miniseries DC did.
Yeah.
Which introduced what was the undead guy's name? The Darkest Night stuff was all involving him, but it was the introduction of that. No, Black Hand was an old villain that tied into that guy, Necron or something like that.
Yeah, Necron. Okay.
But that miniseries debuted Necron. Debuted a character that became one of the creepiest stories in comics. That little gold chick that looks prepubescent when she shows up and is clearly crushed on Jordan, and then when
she's an alien. Aliens, she may have aged in dog years.
She was supposed to be over 100, I think, but yeah.
See,
they still went kind of creepy with it.
To go ahead and
but not in that miniseries.
To rip from another comedy, she's technically 150 years old. Then why did you draw her like this?
Yeah. Well, now when she hooks up with Jordan, she has aged herself to look more appropriate. But you know, it's all the characters in the book know what she would look like 5 minutes ago. It's like no. But I digress. I like the powers and stuff, but I never really got into Hal Jordan as a character particularly. And then after they did the Emerald Twilight, you know, he became Parallax. He killed off the Corps.
Which is actually when I started to like him.
Yeah, it was a neat storyline. But, so it was kind of like it was kind of a Green Lantern I could get in on the ground floor of. And he made some tweaks to the costume that I liked.
I like that they got rid of the stupid yellow vulnerability.
Yes, and the time limit, truthfully.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle's ring didn't have the time limit on it either.
And he could make constructs that stayed.
That took more effort, and they still, I think, only stayed for so long, truthfully. No, he could set them up, and he could set up. I want to say he could set up people like constructs of people doing tasks, and they keep doing the task or whatever.
Well, there's two things that I know he made that stayed permanent. You had a guy that an ex-veteran that he found on the street and saved him, and the dude was missing somebody had destroyed or did something to his prosthetic legs, and Kyle uses his ring to make him a set and makes it permanent. And then you have another storyline that took place in the Green Lantern Corps book that they did afterwards, and these people were looking for this, you know, ancient Earth statue that was worth, you know, $1 quadrillion or, you know, credits or whatever it was, and it was a bust that Kyle had done because, you know, he was an artist.
Yeah,
it was a bust that he had done of one of his girlfriends, and had made it permanent.
Probably the one that ended up in the refrigerator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put that out.
Which is where the term fridging comes from.
Yeah, I know.
Where they'll talk about, you know, whacking female characters or whatever. You know, kind of introducing them, but just so they can whack them to be motivation for the hero. Yeah, that happened early on in his career. But yeah, I like the fact that he was an artist. His stuff tended to be a little more intricate. He did a lot of anime, manga kind of based stuff, you know.
And he was the only one.
At the time, that was
very nice.
He
was the only one. He did not have a core.
He didn't have 3,000 people he could call for backup.
Yeah, which made him special.
And you had that lingering shadow of, well, you know, Jordan's out there somewhere running around as Parallax.
Yep.
You know, and you know that was clearly going to be a thing eventually. You know, but you had his storyline. Truthfully, the storyline where the girlfriend gets fridged for all the people complained about that trope, it was unexpected at the time.
Yeah.
Because they really were building her up to be kind of his main support character, you know. She was the one kind of pushing him to be better. And it was just kind of brutal out of nowhere.
And it hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and basically from the conclusion of that story, they go right into 0 Hour, which was a neat miniseries that I was into. Or, you know, one of their event crossover things. Which is kind of where he gets introduced to the rest of the heroes. But
I enjoyed him going up against what they call them, the Hyper Clan. You remember the white Martians that were masquerading as superheroes?
Yes.
Justice League. And yeah, when they come after him, the guy turns into a big yellow mech. It's like, you know, this is perfect against the Owen Ring, and Kyle basically forms anime armor on him. Go, yeah, you're dealing with the raw Green Lantern crap.
Yeah.
Proceeds to beat the living hell out of him.
Yeah, let's see, through that same era, yeah, I really liked him in the Justice League book. He was in one iteration of the Titans for a while, because he was dating Donna Troy. Because, let's see, he dated, after the initial girlfriend, he eventually started dating, he dated Donna Troy for a while, Jade for a while. Ended up getting her a ring. Because for some reason, through there, her power pulse wasn't, you know, she had lost her power pulse. She didn't have her powers anymore. It was something with the time travel story, because Jordan basically makes a copy of his ring. You know, a younger Jordan made a copy of his ring and left it with Kyle, so Kyle could restart the core if he wanted to.
Yeah,
Because
and that's
Kyle's
where he-
ring could not duplicate itself.
That was one of the things I liked in that when he got that ring. He went through space, giving people where he was like, okay, you're strong, we'll give you a ring. And when he comes back to see the dude was evil and had basically taken over his entire planet. It was like a dictator.
Yeah, the guy ended up pulling a Sinestro.
Yeah. I was just fixing to say.
And then he gives
Sinestro without the cool Mustang.
He gives it to this one chick, and she's a great hero. Well, when that particular Lantern battery dies, she's left without powers, and so all of her enemies that she made are now trying to kill her.
Well, you had one story while he was in space where it was a member of the previous Corps that had lost, the ring had depowered.
Yeah.
Because she winds up trying to steal Kyle's, but Kyle's won't work for anybody except him or Jordan.
Yeah.
And then she winds up like offing herself or something. That book was great until he went off into space. His girlfriend gets murdered and stuffed in a fridge. It sucks. He deals with it. He goes on with his life. A buddy of his gets beat up by some homophobes. He has lost faith in humanity and must travel the stars. And the dude couldn't write a space story to save his life. None of the space stories were good.
Was Judd Winnick writing that book then?
Yes, that was who that was.
Yeah, that sounds like a Winnick.
It was just the...
Winnick is a great writer until he starts thinking about Pedro, and then the minute he adds Pedro to his writing.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the cause, but, I stuck with it for a while, but the space stories got so bad, it's kind of like... But still, he remains one of my favorite, out of the DC characters, he remains one of my favorites. That was just a real good run of a comic through there.
Yeah, like I said, Kyle almost got me into Green Lantern, but at just about the time I started thinking, I might give this a shot. They brought back Jordan for no damn reason. I was like, oh, deal with it.
Yeah. Well, bringing Jordan back made more sense than bringing Barry back. Jordan at least had some hardcore fans that were wanting him back. Old boy that brought back Barry Allen, he was the only person that wanted Barry Allen back.
Yeah.
The fans kept on him about Wally West till they finally brought him back.
Is he dead again?
I don't know. I don't keep up no more.
I know you had Flash War where you find out that, Wally really was the fastest. And then they killed him in that next little mini-series. And I don't know if he's dead, or back dead, or kind of dead. Because, he was running around in that was because it basically he either jumped back in time right after he killed everybody, including himself, or some kind of shit. It's got one of them weird kind of Professor Zoom in the animated shit where I think he's dying, but some crap. I think he's got like 24 hours before he actually drops. But going that fast, 24 hours lasts forever.
I'm about to say, a speech can get a lot done in 24 hours, though.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball Z.
So anyway, that's been our favorite characters. If you want to leave us a comment, tell us what your favorite is. If you want to leave a comment bashing our choices, that's acceptable too.
Yeah, because we bash on each other. So
yeah. Well, some of us make it awfully easy. I'm just saying.
Nobody really went after Kyle. It was all positive things about Kyle. Talk about his writer sucking.
Well, what can you say? Kyle was the best Green Lantern they've done.
And also, it's hard to rap on space cops. You never know when they're going to be around.
It is a tried and true trope.
Watching you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Anywho, if you like what we do here,
it's laser shooting people in space who took authority onto their own hands. I mean, it's got underlying creepy to it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of any government to some people.
There's worse stuff out there, but...
And the Owens were supposed to be the first life form, so, they kind of see themselves as, the big brothers of everybody else. But anyway, that's us for the day. If you like what we do, follow us, subscribe, hit the like button, all
Like.
that jazz.
I find that the like button is very, very important. Helps keep YouTube off of you.
Yeah, it has to do with how we show up in searches and stuff. But anyway, so I guess this will be us signing off. I was your host for the day, the experience that some call Jason, and with me has been
The Todd Father, still live from Gazebo of Solitude.
The token living in fear of Green Lanterns now, Tarky.
And the droid CDL 113.
and we will see you next time.